We back up last week. Last week was good. We have to back it up this week. We want to make the playoffs. We go get 3 points. Let's go.
Huge win for Locomotive last Saturday in New Mexico. Tonight, El Paso looks to make it 3 consecutive victories and poised to make the playoffs yet again. But in their way this evening, RGV Toros FC. Welcome inside the broadcast booth. I'm Duke Keith, joined by Heidi Mocha. And Heidi, wins against rivals Phoenix Rising and New Mexico United on the road. Locomotive know it needs to keep winning, and they've done just that.
Yeah, big-time matches against big-time opponents, and the train keeps rolling. Locomotive's playing with lots of heart, and quite frankly, looks like they may be through their rough stretch. And, you know, the mindset is always to get a win every time that they play a match. But you've got to really like the character from these guys, knowing that there's added pressure.
Speaking of pressure, let's go to the lab. Last Saturday night, New Mexico United. Last Saturday to Albuquerque we go, and early on, Lucho, an easy one, an assist from Ricardo Zacarias. Both of those guys in excellent form. But before the half, Kevon Frater with the equalizer in the first half. It is tied 1-1 going into the break with that goal. Eder Borelli, a man on an absolute tear right now, gets in the cross late, and Lucho, the textbook touch and finish. El Paso wins this one 2-1.
Duke, how about this match for a signature win? You heard it at the start of this show, just how important this one was for the team. El Paso had never won in Albuquerque. Lots of four-year players on the roster, and just looking at the celebrations, you know how much it meant to them. But that's why you have the high-character guys in the locker room, to be the voice that settle the young guys, but push them to play their hearts out. We heard it from Yuma before. He likes the pressure that comes with these matches, and we saw it from the whole team on how focused they were in getting the job done.
The win against New Mexico puts El Paso just 2 points behind United. There's a couple of games in hand for some of those teams, but if Locomotive gets a victory tonight, it's a big 3 points that'll be huge when the season wraps up.
Top 7 teams make the playoffs, and right behind El Paso is Las Vegas Lights. The Lights also looking to make it into the postseason, but took a big 5-0 loss to RGV a couple of weeks ago. The Toros do have some quality attacking pieces that could cause problems for Locomotive defenders. While the Toros aren't in playoff contention, this is a dangerous team that would like nothing more than to get a win on the road against another Texas team.
Another big Lone Star State showdown. Locomotive FC looking to make it 3 straight wins, and RGV FC looking at playing spoiler. Starting lineups next.
Thank you for watching the pre-match show presented by the Brian Birds Home Selling Team. Score the best deal on a home with the Brian Birds Home Selling Team. Visit brianbirds.com or call 915-751-1500.
Southwest Chiropractic, serving El Paso area and relieving pain for more than 20 years. Not only do we treat auto, sports, and work-related injuries, but we also treat scoliosis, sciatica, back pain, disc injuries, chronic pain treatment, and we even manage stress. At Southwest Chiropractic, our patients are seen the same day. We provide gentle and effective care, and we accept most insurances. Schedule your appointment today and let us relieve your pain. With 3 convenient locations in El Paso, Southwest Chiropractic. Your health is our well-being. Call us today, 915-581-9619.
Noche de Locos in the Borderland here at Southwest University Park as we take a look at downtown El Paso with our sister city, Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, off to the south. Welcome to El Paso, Texas. Duke Keith along with Heidi Mocha as we get ready for Locomotive FC versus RGV Toros FC. Taking a look at the starting lineups first for the homestanding Locomotive FC squad. And you can tell a big difference. Nick Hines up top along with Cristiano Francois. That is a little bit of a change. Of course, missing Aron Gomez today because of yellow card accumulation, Heidi.
Right. He's gotten a couple too many yellows, but the speed on the wings for Locomotive, so we're going to look to see if they can get that ball out wide and attack and take advantage on the wings against RGV.
For Toros FC, under the direction of Wilmel Cabrera, always look for number 1, Tyler Derrick, former Major League Soccer star for Houston Dynamo back in the day, but also keep an eye up top on young number 7, Jonas Felberg. The Norwegian has been a bit of a force and leads RGV Toros. Of course, they have 5 guys with 4 goals. They've spread it around nicely. Looking pretty good.
Yeah, they definitely spread out some of the scoring, but number 7, he may be their most dangerous player. So Locomotive will have to make sure to stay organized and know where he is in the box at all times.
At all times, and I know we're going to get to some of that with your Casa Auto Group keys to the game in a little bit, but this is a team that likes to clog things up in your opposing 18, and we'll see how Mr. Cabrera's RGV Toros are able to do that. Underway on Noche de Locos in El Paso, Texas, as El Paso looks to make it 3 straight with victories over Phoenix and New Mexico United. As we pointed out, first time Locomotive had ever won in Albuquerque. An impressive win from start to finish, just a professional handling of their business.
Absolutely.
Turnover in the early going and chipping Evan Newton. It's just wide up and over. That was dangerous and on the run quickly. You see the press. Jose Francisco Torres.
Yeah, that was a little too close for comfort in this first minute. It's nice to see the same back 4 and then the middle 3 together, but that pressure just kind of, Locomotive needs to get settled and play like we like to see them do at home.
Andrew Fox and Yuma flanking Evan Newton left and right, and a nice pass to sort things out in the middle. Nicely done up the left wing side. Back it'll come. Borelli service along the right wing and grabbed by Tyler Derrick with the dangerous feet of the cheetah. Cristiano Francois lurking.
I'm sure Derrick had seen several of Borelli's crosses that he's served in the last few matches for assists, so he's ready to get out there quickly.
RGV collecting another turnover though. Pass up top, and this one jails just over the bar. Emilio Icasa, as we take a look at our referee and his assistants tonight. Referee in the middle, Mark Allerton. The assistant ref, Art Aristemian. And Matthew Seen on the other side. The 4th official tonight is Drew Player. So some early turnovers. Borelli dummies that one. And a roll off of Lucho. For an RGV throw. Wrong side of the halfway line for Jonathan Ricketts. RGV interesting. Second from the bottom of the Western Conference. This is a team that can blow hot and cold. A 5-0 win over Las Vegas Lights, followed by a loss to Phoenix Rising. They're looking pretty sharp in the early going. Here they come again. Offside flag is up, though, this time, as we take a look at our Casa Auto Group keys to the game, Heidi.
So to start the 1v1 defense, so look for RGV to try and get Locomotive defenders in 1v1 situations, especially inside the box. They're good at getting service in, and they do have multiple players that can finish in the attacking third, like we had mentioned earlier, Duke, but they're not always organized, so they sometimes can occupy the same spaces. El Paso defenders need to stay on their marks and be disciplined when the Toros have numbers in the box to avoid 1v1 situations. And then beat the press. RGV is very aggressive on the press, and they use their attacking players well up top.
Here's Hines. Richie Ryan thought about having a go, looked like. It's knocked down by Maris as they try to clear it. Comes back to the middle, and the Englishman, Andrew Fox.
And the Locomotive will have to be patient in their build out and avoid making mistakes. Look for Cavillo and Maris to have some overlapping runs that will take defenders with them to open up more space and passing options. And then utilize that speed up top. So 2 very fast wingers in the starting lineup, and that has to be by design. RGV will get their left and right backs up on the press, and maybe we see a long ball up to Nick Hines or Cristiano Francois, who are super fast on the wings.
Richie Ryan, a solid challenge there. Icasa. It goes over Icasa's head. He might have thought the better of having a touch at that. He sails right into the path of Borelli, and now here's Hines. Nick Hines challenged and thrown off the ball. That will be a foul. Not a free kick in a dangerous area. You can challenge shoulder to shoulder, but you saw the venom in that touch by Wahab Akwe.
Yeah, he got into his back side on the contact.
So Akwe giving up a free kick in a dangerous spot. Locomotive has had an on-again, off-again love affair with set pieces, haven't they, this season?
Yes. This is where they have to be committed to be on the other end of the service. I mean, it's just one of those have-tos.
Dylan Maris' right foot or Richie Ryan's left? Ryan, outswinger. Far post headed down, but not nearly in. Andrew Fox got a touch to it, but it didn't hit squarely.
He was committed to that ball, though.
Evan Newton keeping that out of danger. He was committed. Yes, he was. And he got free for that, but I think he'll be disappointed it didn't happen a little more to his liking. That's knocked dangerously back into the middle, but Ryan there to clean up. Solid moves by Maris. Gets away from his opposite, number 10, Torres. Calvillo. Overlapping on the right. As you pointed out, Francois now. And it's knocked into touch. We take a look at our Texas Tech Health Report. Good to see Chapa up and running. And Siobhan John Brown is out of the brace and seems to be improving here as well for Locomotive. Francois.
Yeah, this is the first time for Locomotive that all wing players are available for selection for the match tonight.
Borelli knocked down by Akwe. Awkward clearance. Will make it to Felberg. Nicely done by RGV, but the pass sails wide. I have to assume that's a cross off the foot of Ricky Ruiz. I think he was looking along the right wing for Felberg. Evan Newton goes down, but I think that was just to deflect it out. Probably a good thing he didn't touch it.
RGV there, when they are getting forward, they're getting into that box and getting a ball across or trying to get it on goal. They have 29 of their 33 goals are from inside the box, so that is where they're looking to get. And then when they get those chances, that's where they're going to be at. So the Locomotive has to sort it out and keep the confusion down to a minimum in the middle.
Maris, Hines, chip nicely done up and over to Maris, and it's deflected out for a corner off of Akwe. And it'll be Dylan Maris with the first corner of the match. So service and arrive with authority.
That's a lot of bodies right in the by the goal line.
Right. And our referee Mark Allerton having to separate a few.
Yeah.
Nope, not yet. Looks like the assistant referee talking things over with the ref. And the referee coming all the way over to Dylan Maris. He is, okay, yeah, you're on the line. I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Goodness
Let's not
gracious.
think it's on the line.
I don't know what optical illusion referee Allerton saw, but the ball never moved. Service to the far post and too far over the goal line as Andrew Fox trying to sort things out against that RGV defense. Akwe. Long over the top for Philberg. Can he get there? He cannot. It's a solid effort by Philberg to try and get on that ball. It'll be a throw-in for Locomotive, but for Locomotive, 2 solid wins against opponents who had usually vexed them, home and away. As that's turned over, here's Philberg. Good work by Maris trying to win it back. Philberg not so easily thrown off the ball, and it'll be a direct kick the other way for RGV. But to do what Locomotive has done takes a lot of solidity in the locker room, and that comes down to leadership, doesn't it?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And that's where, especially right now, I mean, Eder Borelli playing through his shoulder injury, Yuma in the back line, Ryan Ritchie, I mean, the veteran lead, oh, excuse me, Richie Ryan. You know, that veteran leadership has really helped the team come together and overcome, you know, some obstacles now to be kind of on the up and up and with the momentum as we go into this last part of the regular season.
Here's Torres to deliver the free kick. Slow roller out top, and Cristiano Francois makes sure it does not advance. RGV the long switch, and it's too long. Locomotive with a throw-in. Yuma, the team captain. Richie Ryan, very vocal, as you saw in that pregame video. Richie Ryan, I'm not sure I've ever heard the Irishman speak more words in consecutive sentences than that right there, that clip. Just amazing stuff. But these are 2 guys who've been here all 4 seasons Locomotive has existed, along with Andrew Fox, the man of the ball now. Leadership is so, so important. Here comes RGV. Cutting it back. Having to go a little further back than he wanted to is Pinzon. Cristiano Francois, they run him right out of that wing, and that's nicely done by Locomotive defensively. Knotted into space. RGV Athletic coming right at it. The cutback, Yuma. Making sure Icasa doesn't find his target. RGV still with it. Loose of Icasa, bounces to Borelli and picked up by Newton. That is RGV in a nutshell right there, Heidi.
Yeah, RGV trying to get those 1v1s, but Yuma handles it well. I mean, they just have got to sort that out because that's what they're looking for, and Locomotive needs to make sure that there's less chaos in the box.
Well, and RGV is a team with nothing to lose. Why not go for it? And certainly they have been. They've looked a little sharper, perhaps on the attack. The Locomotive has looked anything but anemic in this early going. Into the middle, and Maris. Calvillo, Francois. The El Salvador international, Eric Calvillo. Not finding any joy up the right wing. Yuma tries the switch, and that is going to be a foul and possibly more. Talk about that veteran leadership. Nick Hines is going to receive the first yellow. But Locomotive has relied on it extensively, Rachel. Let's bring in the 3rd member of our team, Rachel Phillips, on the pitch
Yeah, Duke, that's exactly right. What a flip in form for the Locomotive in these past few weeks. 6 games without a win, on the precipice of falling out of the Western Conference standings in a playoff position, to then going to back-to-back wins and with a chance to move to 4th spot in the Western Conference standings. But when you talk to the team and the players and the coaches, I spoke to Richie Ryan actually, and he says really, quote, sticking together and working hard for one another. I think it's that mindset and the mentality on the field is to work hard for one another. Then over a period of time, things will change. Guys, they certainly have changed. Like I mentioned, they're in the playoff position right now with a chance to move to 4th spot in the Western Conference standings with a win here tonight. And that is all due to this team wanting to play for each other and play for the fans.
Thanks very much, Rachel. And nice loft over for Maris, a little too tall for Hines. I mean, you've played on lots of teams, Heidi. You've played on teams with experience and teams without. How much of a difference does it mean, whether it's college or professional, how much does it mean to have a veteran leadership like Locomotive has, making decisions in the locker room?
Yeah, I mean, it is something that you cannot put a real value on. I mean, it's invaluable, the amount of that experience and leadership can bring from folks who have been there. They've been through ups and downs in all different situations. And, you know, I mean, right now, I mean, Yuma, like we've said, he loves the pressure of the win now. He says it's a must win every game. You know, that basically these last 5 games are like finals.
Eric Calvillo did not miss by much. And that was all set up by a beautiful touch, speaking of leadership, by Eder Borelli.
Yes.
Won the ball and popped it into open space for Nick Hines to start that break.
He is on fire these last few matches. I mean, Richie has called Eder an inspiration to him and the rest of the team as a model professional playing through that shoulder injury. I mean, he just, that kind of set the tone for never giving up, to work hard together, to be a unit, you know, and work to win. And like we said, all the ups and downs of the season. And Yuma said that, you know, the playoffs are still expected even after all the ups and downs. But it would feel like it was a good reward for all the hard work that they've put in and the way the team is playing now. And he really thinks that El Paso will be a team to watch out for.
Well, that's one thing that Borelli does not have a whole lot of, and that's speed. We saw that there, Akwe outdistancing him to the ball, but you want to talk about pinpoint accuracy. 3 assists in the last 2 matches. We thought he had a hat trick of assists versus Phoenix. One of those was not credited to Borelli. How about Francois? Nice handles. Chip to the left by Maris. Here's Hines. What can Locomotive do here? Hines leaves it behind. Knocked up the wing by Torres. Over for Reese. Reese will have a go off the bar. Mercy. Bounces back to Reese. Felberg onside. Flag stays down and knocked wide. Chance of the night for RGV. And showing his frustration is Christian Pinzon. Look at this sequence. Off the right post.
Those balls by Locomotive has to be cleared better once we get that lucky bounce off that post. Just allowing RGV to get back in and give themselves another chance. We were lucky that he was just off the target there, because that goal was wide open if it was on frame.
And we heard Eighth Notch in behind in section 105 chanting the name of Yuma. Maybe just that little slide at the last, as you saw the replay, threw Pinzon off just that much.
Disrupting the attacker.
And the 28-year-old missing, but not by much. RGV with teeth in the early going. That's knocked and deflected by Borelli. And miss hit. Felberg sitting in between Andrew Fox and Yuma. The Norwegian.
Yeah, RGV sees everything as a 1v1 opportunity.
And why not? Yuma trying to clear does get a piece of that off of O'Connor Ward. It's blasted wide up and out by Cristiano Francois. Nicely done.
And that's Locomotives needs to continue to stay disciplined, and if a man gets stood up 1v1, make sure that they get over there and give him some help.
One of the things I think Toros have done very well tonight is win duels. We've seen them out-duel El Paso a number of times on the pitch this evening.
Yeah, it feels like they're setting the pace and they're setting the tone because of that as well. I mean, that's the feel that I get watching this match. Is that what you
That's
feel like
absolutely,
too?
no, I'm with you 100%. Yuma, Andrew Fox. Now to Maris. Deep lying. Maris, Calvillo, and Ryan will kind of form a little bit of a circle on that 6 roll. Nicely done now. Francois to Boehner, or from Boehner. Cristiano Francois. Beat 1 but not 2. Pimentel.
Francois likes to get that ball and tries to cut it in towards the goal. I think I'd like to see him, instead of diagonally trying to beat the men, they're catching up because he's giving them the shorter route. Go towards the end line more, get a little bit more room, and then you cut across and cut them off so they can't recover as easily. Or he can get that ball in, into the danger in front of goal.
Ruiz committing the foul on Calvillo. Well, as you look, Cristiano Francois, obviously it's the second match in a week for Locomotive FC, and that is another concern with Francois. With the fresh legs, getting a good look tonight. And you pointed out in your keys to the game, he and Nick Hines are there to provide space wide. Locomotive really hasn't been able to find them in open space a whole lot. Nick Hines maybe has had a few more touches in the open, partly because of that man there. Borelli, nice turn. They get it to Lucho, and he makes what he can of it.
And we have not found that man enough yet tonight.
That's the truth.
That is, I was just thinking that, and then we get the ball to him, so that's good to finally get him back on our radar. I think the Locomotive has to get the ball to him to have success tonight.
Good work by Pimentel right in front of Lucho. It's so funny when you look at hockey and soccer, both motion sports, both momentum sports in a big way. Oh, Yuma locked in a mortal battle there. On that right wing with Pinson. He's saying it's a foul to Mark Allerton. And Mark Allerton saying, no, it's a throw. Yuma trying to apply the dark arts there, but Pinson, give him credit, was ready to try and stand up to the Spaniard. But you look at, the point I'm trying to make is you look at hockey, you look at soccer, first goals are so important, aren't they?
To have that momentum and the confidence and not have to, dig and fight back and, get beat down. And if you can be the first on the board, it's a huge opportunity to continue that momentum and try to extend the lead.
Locomotive first on the board in both of their prior 2 wins versus Phoenix and United. Notably in Albuquerque, things got a whole lot easier after that. Hines, nicely done. Rachel Phillips with more on trying to make most of those offensive opportunities, Rachel.
Yeah, of course, Dugo, and you mentioned those 2 previous games, scoring first in all of them. It goes a long way for the Locomotive. In fact, in their 11 games won this season, they've scored first in 9 of those games, something I know they'll want to see again here tonight. So if we see a goal from the Locos first, I'm not saying it's a definite win, but there is definitely a high percentage that they go on to win the game.
The odds are good. Borelli sails that one right into the path of Tyler Derrick. It's such an important stat, and honestly, you look at both hockey and soccer, games where goals are not, it's not like basketball or even football. You can survive somebody else scoring first in a football game. But it's so important, especially when they only count for one.
Yeah, I mean, in soccer, goals can be scarce,
Yes,
you know? They are
exactly.
not
Maybe even more
plentiful.
so, yeah, here on the pitch than it is on the ice. But you look at the teams that win, and usually they're the ones scoring the first goals. There's a foul. Little extra left in by Akeem O'Connor-Ward. 26-year-old out of Vienna, Virginia. He takes down Maris.
Taps him right.
Right.
Maris stays on his feet a lot. However,
he leaves him. Usually something's up. Yuma, that was not what he wanted to do.
yeah, and that press has just given Locomotive a little bit of a fit.
Evan Newton easily sees this one out, but Binson was off to the races. Touch kind of deserting him at the last, but Yuma off target in the pass, and certain passing, especially in your own defensive third, has got to be crisp versus this opportunistic Toros team. Felber. The back heel into space. Richie Ryan is there to fill it. 50-50 challenge, says the referee. Play on. Down in a heat went Juan David Cabezas. Hines. Flag is up. Wouldn't have counted anyway. That looked like something. They had three coming up that right wing.
I know.
Intercepted by Borelli. Toros able to take it back in control. Calvillo lofting that into space, and that'll be a foul. Lucho says, who, me? Yes, you. Torres goes down. Both of these teams not afraid of the physical challenge. We've seen that so far.
Well, it's no secret that the Locomotive is going to be physical.
Binson, nice jump over Calvillo. O'Connor-Ward trying to move it up. Yuma with him stride for stride. Deflected. Yuma, Boehner, and Dylan Maris. Francois turns and tries to get loose. He's right into traffic.
He's well organized on defense, though, there. I mean, there was multiple Locomotive players for that turnover to occur.
That's what you
And
want to
then
see.
get it into the midfield. Now we just need to solve the midfield piece, getting it up front. But see lots of white jerseys dropping back just to kind of fill those simple passing lanes.
It's off target. Francois runs it down. Now turns and faces. He'll have a go. Wanted to connect with Hines in the left wing, but too tall. Good idea for the switch, just wasn't able to pull it off as we enter the 28th minute. A reminder, don't miss a minute of the action in 2022, whether your club is on the road or at home. Nearly every second of the USL Championship on ESPN+. Home to the USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. And speaking of ESPN, the reigning title holders visit in-state rivals as the USL on ESPN2 continues. Orange County SC looking for a late season surge against Sacramento Republic FC. That's on the 18th of September, 1 p.m. Mountain on ESPN2. We have a Texas Tech nod to the dock. Tyler Derrick getting a look-see. Kim McCartney, the athletic trainer. There you see Eder Borelli getting a nice drink of water. Good opportunity for a hydration break, as Tyler Derrick has tended to. 3 assists in 2 matches, second on the team in crosses. This despite Heidi being out for injury for long stretches of the season. The crossing accuracy at 32%, that's solid for the man from Monterrey.
Yeah, I mean, his service, he's just got that such great touch on his service, but you would not have those services if he didn't have the vision that he has too. He sees the plays development. He knows exactly where to serve the ball and how where to put it so they can bring it down for those opportunities.
You can see the brace below his right sleeve, and of course, a badly separated shoulder versus Roots. He was out for a week or 2 after that, and then right back on the pitch, electing not to have surgery. That shows the heart he has for this team. So El Paso blessed with a few guys who've been team captains for other clubs. Eder Borelli notably for FC Juarez Bravos. They were part of the Liga Ascenso. We're making it up to Liga MX. Talk about Borelli, you talk about Yuma, you talk about Richie Ryan. Good heart and soul to have in your locker room. Over the top, Felberg. That is out of play. Matt Boehner. The hero last year in Albuquerque. Got Locomotive its first points on the road in New Mexico with that notable stoppage time tying goal. Certainly Borelli and Lucho playing a big part in last week's, or this last weekend's 2-1 win. Felberg, nice cross. Locomotive able to see it out. And it seems like this. Francois now is earning the foul. Mark Gallatin has a big discussion with Jose Francisco Torres. We take a look at the replay here. Drag the foot. Now, Heidi, you got to go to the match.
I did.
I was very jealous. You were sending me pictures from your luxury booth. But how nice, and you, I mean, I think they may be taking you along every time they go to Albuquerque from now on.
Yeah.
You may be a good luck charm.
Oh, gosh. It was, I mean, you could just feel the energy there, but the Locomotive got on the front foot, you know. And
Francois makes a cross out of that, and Acque has to nod it back over the byline for a corner kick with Hines bouncing right up the middle. Credit the Cheetah there.
RGV definitely, you know, and they can't let that kind of ball skip across the front of the goal.
Hines was waiting.
Because Locomotive will finish like they did in Albuquerque.
That was amazing. I just so well handled this. You see Richie Ryan set up for the corner here. We'll talk more about it in a minute. Baby steps. First the point last season, the 3 points this season. Here's Ryan. Far post, grabbed by Derrick with Yuma waiting out there in the left wing. That would have been interesting. Air Yuma, said with a question mark. Here's Derrick. Felberg, they've moved him off to the left. Not afraid to switch him around is Wilmer Cabrera, former head coach of the Houston Dynamo. Helped him win a US Open Cup back in the day. Again, Felberg, step over. Does well to keep possession, but they have to back out. Seems like Locomotive is beginning to find some answers, although we'll wait. Well, that one's way over the top and out of play. Way too tall. Looking for Jonathan Ricketts. But
Yeah,
what have you noticed, Heidi, if anything, that they've done better defensively?
Well, that's what I was going to say is Locomotive is having patience on defense, you know. So instead of getting drawn in, instead of committing in that 1v1, they're like, okay, let's stay in front. Let's make it predictable. Let's play together. And then RGV is knocking it back. They may be keeping possession, but they're moving away from goal, moving it back. And then the Locomotive can move to the midfielders and the forwards pressuring the ball. And it just given, still staying organized in that last third.
It's a little like the game versus Rising FC last weekend, or a couple of weekends ago. It seems like Phoenix Rising came out like a house of fire. Locomotive weathered that storm, did end up scoring the first goal before the half was over.
Right.
Can they continue to make that a repeat of a week and a half ago?
Locomotive just has to sort out the final third and really create the dangerous opportunity.
It'll be Ryan, out swinger. Derek on the grab, loses the ball, but it is taken away by Pimentel. Pimentel on the break. Long switch. Felberg in the middle. Nowhere to go for Icasa, has to send it back. Akwe. O'Connor Ward. Again, RGV not finding a way around the edges right now. And that's where they had some success in the opening minutes. Loose, and it skips away from Borelli. Brought down now, long cross, headed out of trouble. Well done by Matt Boehner, who matched Christian Pinzon stride for stride. It'll be a corner kick, but a great job by the Ohioan.
Yeah, that was a huge header by Boehner to keep that, because RGV was waiting for that one. That was a beautiful ball across as well by RGV. Boehner knows that he could not leave that thing to go across without a touch.
Casa's looked pretty sharp. We'll play the short corner. Felberg making some moves. They want him to go one-on-one with other people. Trying to take Dylan Maris to task. Yuma gets a piece. Chipped into the box. Into the mixer. Brent sent back, and Felberg misses wide. Flag was up anyway. But you talked about it in pregame. This is what they do. Send it into the mixer and see who knocks something around.
Absolutely. And Felberg, I mean, that ball that he just tried to finish, first touch, and pretty decent strike,
Wasn't bad. It was off target.
Yes.
And it was offside.
And offside.
Lucho out of the back. Spinning away from Akwe. Here's Yuma. Of course, Locomotive, as we pointed out in pregame, virtually every match now is a must-win simply because they've got other teams have games in hand. Here's Francois slashing across again. Borelli, well worked, but over the top of Francois. It is a pressure cooker, Heidi. It's a pressure cooker. Locomotive has got to pull 3 points out of just about every match they've got the rest of the way.
Right. I mean, and sometimes that's a good thing. You decide, okay, we're going to be on. It's on. There's no coasting. There's no taking a break. I mean, they can do it. I mean, the coach is here to manage the players as far as physically. But other than that, I mean, it feels like tournament time. I mean, win or go home.
Casa nicely done trying to get the shot off. The block was Ricketts. Locomotive comes away the better for that. Borelli, somehow that makes it to Nick Hines. Here's Maris. Getting away from the crowd. Maris looking for an angle. Rolls it to space. Francois. Derek is there to snuff it out.
That's one of the few players that can catch up to that ball. This speed.
Beautiful thought, though, by Dylan Maris, because he knew Cristiano Francois could get there, the Haitian international. And it seemed a pretty well-controlled break for Locomotive.
Yeah, Yeah.
We talked about performance under pressure. That passing was on point.
Exactly. I mean, just the team play and the unity there. I mean, just kind of a one unit moving forward, helping each other out, knocking the ball around.
Last ball from Maris, pretty solid. We'll get Derek there to take it. Off of Francois. Richie Ryan is Locomotive. Seemingly with a little more intent in these late minutes of the first half. Richie Ryan, nice ball over the top, Akwe. Handles it well, looking for Nick Hines. Again, they want to serve Felberg as they've moved him left to right to left, back and forth, but they can't hook up with him. The balls over the top to the wings have gone out of play.
Yeah, I mean, we've said this already. They want to end up with a 1v1 unexpectedly with him, and they want to have confusion in the back.
Well played ball over the top. Akwe's got this. One of the things I'm thinking, though, AGB Park in the Valley is a huge, huge facility. Maybe a little more pinched in the friendly confines of Southwest University Park for RGV.
Yeah, that can definitely be a factor. We're used to just that little bit, that couple extra yards to use to stretch the defense and to run into.
Pinson fouled. Every performance big for this Locomotive team, and they know it. Over the top, Felberg there, but Newton will knock it back up. I know John Hutchinson has some thoughts on exactly what his team is facing and why they are doing as well as they do. We'll go down to Rachel Phillips shortly for what Hutchinson thinks. Let's do that. Rachel, what does the Australian coach have to say about it?
Well, Duke, you mentioned pressure. For Hutch, he says, pressure is completely internal, and it's what you place on yourself. He said, at the end of the day, we're getting paid to play a kid's sport, and we have people coming out to watch us and enjoy us. He said a lot of people are talking about these as must-win games, as finals games, as playoffs games. He says, yeah, maybe, there's a little bit of pressure on it, but he said, if this was a finals game, I would be expecting a trophy at the end of every game. So for him, yes, obviously these are important games. We know that, but he says pressure is really all internal, and they're playing for themselves out here right now.
Thanks very much, Rachel. That'll be an injury whistle. Felberg taken down after a challenge by Richie Ryan. I don't think a foul was called there because it wasn't when the contact happened. And I think Felberg gets a Texas Tech nod to the dock. And Kim McCartney, maybe a little busier than she would have liked coming into this evening. Let's see what we see. Well, he missed the challenge. Richie Ryan saw where that ball was going and put his foot in, as he had every right to do. I'll be interested to see what the restart is. If it's a foul, then RGV's got a kick. But I think it's just going to be a dropped ball.
He's holding the ball like, oh. Now Yuma has it.
Right? Who's got the ball? And yes, it's going to be a drop ball. It was a whistle for the injury. Felberg coming to RGV via Indianapolis and FC Cincinnati of Major League Soccer. On a pick in the Super Draft. 4 goals this season. They have 5 players with 4 goals to RGV. So spread evenly at the top, they have the same number of players, 10, who scored goals. Nice ball to Miras. The challenge, though, right at Tyler Derrick. Not much of a challenge for the MLS veteran.
And RGV is I mean, Locomotive had that opportunity centrally, but that's not the ideal, chance that they want to have a really dangerous opportunity because RGV collapsed onto Maris. Maris had, you know, kind of one path, and then their goalkeeper was able to pretty routinely save that ball.
Felberg, nice touch. That hit his hand. Good thought by Ikasa, but it finds the right arm of the Norwegian, and free kick here for Locomotive. Are we playing at the pace you might have thought coming into the match that we'd see from both of these teams?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Locomotive is trying to break their press, but then kind of has been getting stuck in the middle third and not really figuring out where to go on the attack. So they're doing a pretty good job of not being too disruptive, except for that very beginning. But they really just need to figure out, okay, then how do we get the dangerous opportunity from that? And RGV, when they get it, I mean, they're just trying to create those 1v1s, which is what we expected. I mean, that is where they've been the most dangerous at.
Again, a duel. Nick Hines out-dueled, but the header goes out for a throw. RGV is getting stuck in and doing quite nicely. Nice ball, though, here from Norris, trying to find the top near corner, but just missing. All of a sudden, after winning that great ball, Ricketts looked around and Dylan Maris was inside him and headed for the net.
I know. And you know, Dylan Maris, he's been a key player for the turnaround of Locomotive. And, you know, right now, I feel like all Locomotive, their sense of urgency as far as getting dangerous chances on goal has to, they have to flip that switch.
We're hearing there will be 2 minutes of stoppage time. Makes sense. A couple of Texas Tech nods to the dock. Not more than one dock, more than one nod. Maris. He tried the ball. It looked like he thought a second about trying to send it long to Lucho. Made the pass along the left, and again, RGV's there. That time trying to play a little one-on-one. Juan David Cabezas and Felberg.
I feel like Locomotive has to make the decision on what they're going to do quicker. You know, there's one extra touch or one extra look. They have to know what they're going to do to try to push the pace on the attack against RGV.
Well played, RGV, moving it around. Ruiz, through ball, well ahead. They're looking for a foul on Yuma, but nothing there. Yuma, nice little hair tossle. Of course, you can do that when you're 36 years old and pretty much everybody on the pitch is younger than you are. But admire the effort from Emilio Ikasa. All of 25 years old. The Spaniards got more than a decade on it. But only in years. Yuma trying to sort one out to Lucho, who has, as you point out, had not nearly as many touches that I think they would like to see him have. Good ball, though, Maris to Hines. Trying to send it back into the middle. Be out for a Locomotive throw. Calvillo looking disappointed. Locomotive near the end of stoppage time here in El Paso. Richie Ryan taken down, and maybe one last action here as Ryan goes to ground. Paso pleading his case, but this should be the last bit of the first half, as we are past the 2 minutes. Dylan Maris looking for his options. Richie Ryan back there as well, and I would think that this would be Dylan Maris territory. We'll see. Nope. Short to Ryan. Trying to roll one. It finds Maris at the edge of the box. He's going to have a go and doesn't miss by much. But that is that in a scoreless first half of play. Curling ball from Maris, didn't find the curl that he wanted to.
Yeah.
Dylan Maris and RGB Toros FC with Locomotive FC notched at zeros as we head to the break.
Now, from El Paso's only Ford President's Award winner, introducing the Casa Pre-Owned Advantage at Casa Ford.
It's the advantage of a bigger selection with over 500 vehicles to choose from. It's the advantage of easy financing to get you approved, along with a 6-month, 6,000-mile limited warranty included with every vehicle. It's the advantage of our 7-day cashback promise so you can shop with ease. Casa Ford is much more than just great new vehicles. Discover the Casa Pre-Owned Advantage today at Casa Ford.
Welcome to the GECU Halftime Show. Manage your accounts 24/7 with GECU Online Banking, the GECU mobile app, and GECU ATMs. Learn more at gecu.com.
Welcome back. A beautiful look at downtown El Paso from our drone tonight. Scoreless at the half in, a game that's been beautiful at times, but no score for either side. Locomotive FC 0, Rio Grande Toros FC 0, as we are at the GECU halftime report. Let's take a look at scores around the United Soccer League Championship. The Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, a big 1-0 win over Phoenix Rising at home, as we see San Antonio winning on the road 2-0 at Oakland. In San Diego, Monterey Bay 3-1 over Loyal at their new home. And Hartford Athletic, that's a surprise, over Los Dos 3-1 in Los Angeles. And that really helps Locomotive's case, that from Saturday. And of course, the USL involved in the US Open Cup finals tonight. Sacramento Republic, Orlando City leading 2-0 in the 90th minute. All right, let's take a look. Western Conference standing, San Antonio FC up at the top, 60 points. San Diego Loyal still at 52 points despite the loss and in second place. Switchbacks FC, an opportunity maybe to leapfrog and get back into second, 51 points for Switchbacks. Sacramento Republic, 43 points firmly in fourth, followed by United with 42. Locomotive FC hanging tough with 40 points, followed by Las Vegas Lights. And again, a big loss by Galaxy 2 keeps them below the playoff line. Let's check USL storylines around the league. And don't forget the power rankings. Check out where Locomotive lands in the weekly power rankings at uslchampionship.com. And don't forget you can vote for weekly plays and players. Player of the month also going to be live on Monday. Hard not to have Lucho there with his performance over the last month. 6 goals and an assist. Look for Lucho and vote for Lucho at uslchampionship.com. And don't forget as well, we told you Sacramento Republic in the Open Cup looking to upset Orlando City, but that upset not looking like it's in the cards. Facundo Torres with a pair of goals for Orlando City. 8 minutes of stoppage time and gamesmanship aplenty in Orlando, Florida, it sounds like. But best of fortunes, maybe Republic's got something left over the last bit. We're 0-0 at the break. Locomotive FC and Rio Grande Valley. More GECU halftime show coming up after this.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
first of the season, and that's full time. The old guard with a new trophy. Orange County wins the USL Championship final.
Beautiful downtown El Paso, Plaza Hotel, just minutes from Southwest University Park. The score here at Southwest University Park is 0-0. We have El Paso creating several chances this half. Get the ball in there to Dylan Maris with a nice shot, just saved by the keeper, and he's going to give us a couple more this half though. Borelli gets the ball in to Lucho. Maris with a nice run and just over the bar. And then we get to see Calvillo get the ball into Maris again, and just lots of this great footwork, and just bending it into the top of the goal. We see El Paso is playing centrally right now, kind of taking us away from the wings, but for the second half, look to see some adjustments with El Paso being able to use their speed up top, and we're still creating chances. And we're going to get to see another shot again from Dylan Maris, looking to get those shots into the back of the net in the second half. And here's a great view from up top. We got El Paso Locomotive 0, Rio Grande Valley FC 0. We'll be back after the break.
Now, from El Paso's only Ford President's Award winner, introducing the Casa Pre-Owned Advantage at Casa Ford.
It's the advantage of a bigger selection with over 500 vehicles to choose from. It's the advantage of easy financing to get you approved, along with a 6-month, 6,000-mile limited warranty included with every vehicle. It's the advantage of our 7-day cashback promise, so you can shop with ease. Casa Ford is much more than just great new vehicles.
Discover the Casa Pre-Owned Advantage today at Casa Ford.
Whoa, Tony! I don't think anyone's going to miss that.
Up, up, and away!
I hope he knows how to operate that thing.
Get 1.9% financing on most new Nissans, plus no payments for 90 days. Or get 1.99% financing on a certified pre-owned Sentra, Altima, Rogue, or Rogue Sport.
Your ride could be worth $5,000 or even $10,000 more than you think, and Casa Nissan wants to buy it. We'll pay up to $1,000 over Kelly Blue Book for your car.
Our casa es su casa. Yeah!
Welcome back, Southwest University Park. Red and green tonight in honor of FC Juarez Bravas. In attendance, Liga MX de Femenil. In attendance tonight here in El Paso as we look to try and make those connections with the Borderlands sister club across the way in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico. Both the Bravos and Bravas and Locomotive all under the Mountain Star Sports umbrella. That's a wonderful thing because top level women's professional soccer is taking off around the globe. Mexico's no exception, Heidi.
Yeah, I mean, effort to grow soccer in the borderland and women's side as well. I mean, I'm all for that.
Let's do it. Let's take a look at our first half statistics. 1 shot on target for Locomotive and 5 total. 6 shots, none on target for RGV. Yeah, a little wasteful for both teams. Passing accuracy, Locomotive is doing their thing. I think more important, interestingly, the dual success rate just 53% to 47 favoring RGV. I thought that stat would be bigger. The interceptions might be key. 8 for Locomotive, 2 for RGV, as RGV certainly trying to send the long balls that Locomotive has taken advantage of.
Right,
what are your thoughts,
I
Heidi?
mean, Locomotive has to prioritize what they're doing in the final third. You know, they have to create dangerous chances and get the ball in. You know, we see RGV getting in on the 1v1s, but they haven't gotten any shots on target. So the defense has done a good job of managing that. Now we need the offense to take advantage, get outside and get in front of the goal and get it on target. Before we head to break, let's take a minute to recognize tonight's Hospitals of Providence employee highlight. Tonight we want to recognize all healthcare workers in our region for the continued dedication to keeping our community healthy.
That's the look at the T-Hop employees highlight, the Hospitals of Providence here in El Paso, Texas. At Southwest University Park, scoreless at the break, Locomotive FC and RGV Toros FC, 0-0. What will the second half hold? We'll find out when we come back.
Thank you for watching the GECU Halftime Show. Manage your accounts 24/7 with GECU Online Banking, the GECU mobile app, and GECU ATMs. Learn more at GECU.com.
Now, from El Paso's only Ford President's Award winner, introducing the Casa Pre-Owned Advantage at Casa Ford.
It's the advantage of a bigger selection with over 500 vehicles to choose from. It's the advantage of easy financing to get you approved, along with a 6-month, 6,000-mile limited warranty included with every vehicle. It's the advantage of our 7-day cashback promise, so you can shop with ease. Casa Ford is much more than just great new vehicles.
Discover the Casa Pre-Owned Advantage today at Casa Ford.
Get ready, El Paso. El Paso Locomotive FC returns home on Wednesday, October 5th as we celebrate GECU's 90th birthday at Southwest University Park. Come cheer on the team as they take on Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. The first 1,000 fans through the gates will receive a limited edition game day poster. And enjoy $2 margaritas, Estrella Jalisco's hot dogs, small popcorn, and 24-ounce sodas until the 30th minute of the match. Gates open at 6 p.m. Find your tickets at eplocomotivefc.com. Vamos, locos!
Whoa, Tony! I don't think anyone's going to miss that.
Up, and away.
I hope he knows how to operate that thing.
Get 1.9% financing on most new Nissans, plus no payments for 90 days. Or get 1.99% financing on a certified pre-owned Sentra, Altima, Rogue, or Rogue Sport.
Your ride could be worth $5,000 or even $10,000 more than you think, and Casa Nissan wants to buy it. We'll pay up to $1,000 over Kelly Blue Book for your car.
Our casa es su casa. Yeah!
Welcome back to Southwest University Park, getting set for the second half. Let's take a look at the first half highlights. Duke Keith along with Heidi Mocha with you here in downtown El Paso, Texas. As we take a look, RGV really got things going early on. The shot from Jose Francisco Torres just a little wide. That was followed shortly thereafter by an attempt from Eric Calvillo. Calvillo, the El Salvador international, just whistling that one past the left post. Back comes RGV. Reese dangling, curls that one, and it's off the right post, cleared away by Yuma, and dealt with by Locomotive. Eder Borelli crossing dangerous. That was about Lucho's really only touch around the 6-yard box so far tonight. Locomotive certainly looking for a little more of that, Heidi. As we see Felberg, he's the man to look for up top. He throws that one wide. One more for Locomotive FC. Nice back heel, Dylan Maris. Let's go down to Rachel Phillips right now with John Hutchinson's halftime thoughts. Rachel.
Duke and Heidi, we knew that the four-man press of RGV was going to be tough for the Locos, but Hutch said it really hasn't been the press at all that's been slowing them down. He said he's actually really impressed with how they're breaking through that press. He said it's after that point, which is really quite concerning for him. He said they're not playing their principles of play at all. There are no forward runs. He says this isn't the team that he coaches. He wants to see a lot of improvement in the second half in forward runs and really moving the ball up the field. I asked him if he's going to make any subs to try and help make that happen. He said no subs for another 15 minutes. He wants to see this team that he's got out in the field make something happen instead.
Nick Hines draws the foul. We'll see if that is the start of something for Locomotive FC. And, well, Heidi Mocha, great minds think alike. You and the coach are on the same page.
Yeah, I mean, Locomotive, as Rachel said, Hutch said, I mean, they've managed, except for the very start of the game, the Locomotive has settled down in the back and figured out how to kind of sort things out. But they got to figure out the middle third, attacking third piece of the puzzle.
Borelli, Maris stumbles through. No foul there, and Felberg's off for RGV. Well done, though, by Andrew Fox, combining with Borelli to earn it back. Maris. Lucho to his left will drop for Fox, who has it go, and that forces Derek into a save. Much better in the opening minute plus here in El Paso.
And that's Foxy with the shot. Yeah, and Andrew Fox, I mean, he has been an important part of the first half for Locomotive. We haven't had to mention him too much, and that's a good thing as a defender. I mean, he has been there to help organize and communicate, and we've kind of, talked about the other veterans, but he's one of them too that's had a big impact. And when he gets to play more on the flank, he gets that freedom to go forward more. But in the center, he doesn't. But the second half, he's obviously looking to see if he can get forward a little bit, too, getting that shot off.
Well, Locomotive looking solid in the opening couple of minutes of the second half. And move forward, Calvillo has it taken away. That's no foul on Icasa. Filberg. Nicely worked to Reese. Has to leave off. The cross to the far post is too tall, but dangerous for Pinzon. On the counter for RGV.
And that's kind of something for Locomotive that seems to, like, they kind of have this challenge of balancing the transition, defending the transition, and attacking quicker and creating more attacking chances. And so, I mean, right there, that turnover, and then it almost feels like RGV should have gotten something better, more dangerous from that chance. Locomotive needs to not forget about that transition and make sure that they don't give up a dangerous opportunity to get forward. That's, like I said, that's that balance that's always hard to find.
Ricketts. The crowd here at Southwest University Park, a solid one on Noche de Locos. The beautiful giveaway jerseys tonight for the first 1,500 fans, and there was a line and a half to get into this place. Fun place to be for your Wednesday evening, and a solid crowd for a weeknight. Section 105.
Are we going to see Banana Man in a Noche de Locos jersey, or you think he's going to stick with the banana?
I think he's going to stick with the banana.
I got to see him up in Albuquerque after the win.
I tweeted out retweeted your picture with it. Nicely done. Connor Ward will have a go, and it's well wide. Getting into a bit of a tangle with Yuma, and both players are down.
Some kind of collision.
Texas Tech nod to the dock. Ricardo Reese and company. There's Banana Man. Oh, no. If he knows he's on screen, that's going to happen.
Then he's going to show off with
that is going to happen.
Imbibing.
Right? He does that with 24-ounce cans, too, just to let you know. I don't think there's enough room on that banana skin for Noche de Locos jersey. Maybe underneath. Easier. It doesn't matter if he gets something for free or not. He's going to be here. You know that.
I think the other up in Albuquerque, in his other hand, in the parking lot, he had a banana. Actual.
Which,
a
yes,
banana.
I noticed he took a picture with the banana in his hand, and I'm like, that's a man who's selling out for the role. You appreciate
I didn't
that.
ask about that. And then we saw a bunch of other Locomotive fans that traveled for the match too in the parking lot. It was
Eighth
a
Notch.
nice.
Correct. Plenty of Eighth Notch makes its way to Albuquerque, and that's the wonderful thing about a derby, even one that's 240 miles apart. You're going to get fans traveling. Well touched. Locomotive trying to control. Back it comes from Maris. When in doubt, Richie Ryan. The veteran Irishman starting a new century of appearances for Locomotive FC. His 100th appearance for the club taking place in Albuquerque. This is number 101. Dangerous pass. That's a shirt pull.
And I mean, not many people can say they had 100 matches, but he also reached 100 appearances with a previous club, Sligo Rovers in Ireland. So
wow,
he's done it twice.
Amazing. 37 years and he hasn't slowed down a bit. I believe USL Tactics talked about him being the Locomotive metronome. That is very much the case. The guy who keeps the beat for Locomotive in that defensive midfielder's role.
Yeah, I mean, in the first half, I thought it but didn't comment on it. He actually went to ground for a tackle. And he's so good at what he does. And I'm not, you know, a lot of the guys go to the ground with a purpose and for a reason, but he's in position so well, so often that he usually is standing up when he makes his tackles, you know, rather than even having to go to ground. But there is a time and a place, you know, and he went, and I thought, gosh, I rarely see him down on the ground.
Sliding in, but he will get stuck in if he needs to be.
But he does. He's like that central sixth player who just clogs things up for the opponent, is always an outlet for Locomotive. I mean, he knows where he's going to go. He knows every option of everyone before they get the ball. I mean, it's impressive. There's not a lot of players that have that kind of vision and talent.
Well done by Nick Hines, who dribbled into traffic, into a double team to get out. Evan Newton has to punt the ball long, but again, Locomotive coming up with possession. So looking balanced, but after a couple of forays up the middle, this will be Locomotive's first real action in the attacking third, and Dylan Maris trying to find Francois. That'll be out for a throw off of O'Connor Ward. Quickly taken. Maris will switch. Borelli and Hines over there. Hines, that's going to be a direct kick. As Hines goes down in a heap, the foul on the edge of the box on RGV. And Jonathan Ricketts getting tangled with Hines. Hines is still down. It will be a Texas Tech nod to the dock. We'll take a look again. Ricketts just runs right into it. I mean, you can play a 50-50 ball, but if the guy's got position, you can't run over the top of it.
No. As much as you want that space. I think everybody's just getting a little bit frustrated.
Certainly. As Nick Hines continues to be looked at by Locomotive training staff. Seems to be none the worse for wear. Well, certainly Locomotive doesn't want any more of their wing players to go down.
No.
Well, I think there are some fans who brought their luchador masks from the last giveaway to Noche de Locos. John Hutchinson talks things over with the Locomotive coaching staff. And a dangerous free kick opportunity here. Richie Ryan and Dylan Maris both standing over the ball. A little closer in than they were the last time. Then Swinger. Down it comes, looking for Fox, but his opposite number 4, Eric Pimentel, was there. Not cleared. Borelli passing into the teeth of that RGV defense. They'll let it roll to Derek. Again, great job by Borelli. Might be having issues with his shoulders, but his hips have no problems.
Nope.
Popping up for those balls.
I mean, and RGV made no mistake there. I mean, their keeper, first thing they did was try to get it to Feldberg. You know, hoping to get a 1v1 with Richie. But Richie read the punt well and got it back going the other way.
Maris will take some steam off to Yuma. The veteran Spaniard. He and Richie Ryan have been here from the beginning, as has Andrew Fox. Nicely done, Lucho. Good layoff. Hines with Francois. Drop for Maris. The shot. Skipped and jumped, and Derek to bring it down. Trying to restart quickly, Tyler Derek, the 33-year-old. Sees an opportunity for Pinson, who will get there.
RGV is going to look to force Locomotive to recover and hope that, you know, there's that one chance that they don't get back and creates an opportunity for them to get on the board.
Cabezas out wide to the right. Reese. Cabezas. Nicely played. Feldberg. Wrong man you want to leave open. Right at Evan Newton. Cleared away. Back it comes, and that one will be touched by Newton, out for a throw. Good job by O'Connor Ward to steer that one on frame. And RGV looking very dangerous. All of a sudden. Right there with Feldberg, who has probably been disappointed he's not been closer to where he wants to put the ball. Whether that's toward the angles or straight ahead, he has allowed Evan Newton an easy save. But here is the corner. Slotted back out. It'll be an RGV throw.
Yeah, and Evan Newton, he's been coming up big these last few matches. Just, you know, the whole team has made his job a little bit easier, but you know, to have that confidence, and the attackers on the other team, they know they have to beat him. You know, it's not just going to be a gimme.
RGV loses another ball on the touchline. Again, I have to think that the confines of Southwest University Park are playing havoc with RGV. All the way through. Boehner rolls it into space. I don't think he thought that ball was going to get to him from Yuma. Turns and puts it up the wing, and nobody in black is there. Out it goes. RGV throw. Looks like we're going to have a couple of substitutions for more on who is coming in. As Nick Hines' night is done with Ricardo Zacarias coming onto the pitch for Locomotive, let's head down to Rachel Phillips. Rachel, what do you have for us?
Yeah, Duke, both Liam Rose and Ricardo Zacarias coming on, looking to make that impact here in this game and kind of break things open with some forward runs, which is exactly what we've seen from Ricardo in these recent games. He's had 3 assists since the Colorado Springs games. He's only had 5 on the season. So since that Colorado Springs game, 3 assists in in this match with the Locomotive. I spoke to John Hutchinson about his recent change in form, and he said he can pinpoint the exact moment where things really started to click for him this season. You go back to that Colorado Springs game, the Locos down 4-0 at the half. Hutch was planning on pulling Ricardo out of the game, but some of the other coaches suggest he stay on. Hutch listened, and from that moment, everything has switched. Like I mentioned, 3 assists from that game onwards in the 3 games that the Locomotive have played.
Young man from Las Cruces, New Mexico, got an opportunity when I was up to Carlson Aggie Women's Soccer to speak to his youth coach, or one of them. Just ran into him there in Las Cruces, and just a million to the way that he spoke of Ricardo Zacarias. And Zacarias knocked down after that challenge, favoring that left peg. Lucho. To the left wing, Francois. Locomotive trying to close the circle. Here's Maris. Great work by Francois. Great cutback. Borelli chipped into the box and cleared away by Acque. Out for a Locomotive throw. Zacarias in, Liam Rose in as well. I thought Liam Rose may have had his best game in a Locomotive uniform, substituting in on the wing in the second half versus United. Well, one here. Wow, that's a delayed call.
It is a very late call.
On Liam Rose, and the whistle is blown after Rose had taken about 5 steps to move it up the pitch. Ricardo Zacarias, Las Cruces, New Mexico, played with Chattanooga Red Wolves. That's well worked. Right up the middle, O'Connor Ward, and deflected straight into the waiting hands of Newton. Well played. It was either Fox or Yuma, and that kept it away from Felberg. I did not see who got that last touch.
I think it was Yuma.
Probably.
Pretty sure.
That's a safe bet. Down in a heap goes Maris, and off to the races goes RGV. Again, Yuma. That's a touch. It will be a direct kick as he takes down Pinzon at the edge of the area. Oh no.
No, the official.
No foul. It looked like he pointed
had a play on
for the foul.
Little warning, but.
Oh, that's loose. Felberg, flag is up. Doesn't matter. Felberg chips Newton. But Evan Newton has not been called on a whole lot this evening. Nonetheless, there was a big one for Locomotive FC. Have that one from Felberg a few minutes ago. And that will be a foul on Francois. Well, Evan Newton, let's take a look at that save. It is our GECU save of the game. Felberg sidestepped all the pressure. You can say sometimes the hardest ones to deal with are the ones that are right at you. Here's Zacarias challenging on the wing for El Paso. A little bit of a shirt pull. Maintains possession. That's a good takeaway. O'Connor Ward does well. Felberg. Slide tackle comes in, and Pinzon not able to pinch him from the left. Another good head him off at the pass move by Yuma. 3-10 to Yuma, speaking of old Westerns.
That That was like a unit defending.
Piece by piece. Here's Francois. Out of steam. Played in by Rose. The one contact as Francois taken down. Play on. They want the foul. There was contact. Played into space. And just no way they were going to receive that from Felberg. Good job of recognition by Cabezas. Just get back into position.
Yeah, and RGV, I mean, you could see them. They're just trying to get behind the ball and then counterattack. You know, try to steal something from Locomotive. That can be a little frustrating.
They're certainly chasing. There's Yuma. Both of these sides looking for a breakthrough. Lucho running. Picks out a nice one. Maris. That was Rose. He was trying to send it left to Francois. Well done, Richie Ryan. Matt Boehner rolls across into the teeth of the defense. And it bounces kindly for Felberg on the run. Again, Yuma, right place, right time. Felberg, though. Back along the right wing side. Will receive it back. Again at Evan Newton. Felberg has got to be disappointed with his shots. I mean, that's on frame, but it hasn't tested the keeper at all.
His strike has just been just a little off, I'm sure, from what he's used to.
Francois, great ball from Rose, crossing, nobody in black on the other side. Nice thought, trying to chip the keeper. That may have been a shot. It was touched, so Locomotive throw it.
Ooh, I wonder if it would have snuck into the net without that touch.
33 years old, but still has the pop.
Top hand, popped it over.
Here's Maris. Francois, good job by Fox to bring it down. Maris with it again. Maris trying to get loose and dribbles into the double team. Well done by Pimentel to clear it out. Here are the lines. Pinson.
Yeah, and RGV knows that Maris can strike that ball well and collapses right on him centrally.
Good job by Ruiz. Looking for it, far post, and blazes it over. Substitution coming for RGV here in minute 68. Felberg's night is done, and it's been a frustrating evening for the Norwegian. So you see Frank Lopez coming on to replace him. For Locomotive FC, it has been a game of trying to break down that press, get in tight, make some things happen. It's been a little more back and forth and a little hairier in the second half.
Yeah.
Heidi?
Yeah, the thing that I'm going to go back to is when there's a turnover, Locomotive has to move the ball to attack quicker. Not dribbling it, not touching it, not lateral passing it. It needs to be a vertical, up, north-south kind of attacking move. Right now they're passing. Once you get that turn, what's the next ball? Those are the balls that are going to beat the opponent and get you attacking chances.
Here's Zacarias. It is out.
Almost snuck it in there.
O'Connor Ward, yes. On the verge of the 70th minute, that'll be a foul on Matt Boehner as he takes down Pinson. Well, it was 0-0 down south on the border at HEB Park. Locomotive and RGV locked in another 0-0 battle right here. What are the similarities, Rachel Phillips, that John Hutchinson and the team see? What are the differences?
Yeah, Dougal, as you mentioned, 70th minute, still no score, which is exactly what happened at the end of full time the last time these two teams met. A lot of shots back and forth in recent minutes, and I can tell you both benches up in arms every time one of those shots is close to going in. Locomotive looking to make something happen, as both teams are, but the Locos bringing in two new players here in Anda as well as Chris Garcia, trying to make an impact and make something happen here in the final stages of this game.
Chris Garcia on loan from RSL. The team's developed a relationship, obviously. Diego Luna making his way north to Utah. And Cristiano Francois has had a solid evening. Ander in as well for Richie Ryan. So solid effort in his 101st game in a Locomotive uniform for the veteran Irishman. Paso. Pushing in, here's Eder Borelli. Loose and Lucho. Roll over for a goal kick. Service a little behind him. The Argentine from the Mexican native. Again, as pointed out, the former team captain of FC Juarez Bravos. Luis Garcia loses that battle. You look at some of his actions up in Albuquerque, and Zacarias has that one bounce away from him. RGV Reese crossing back and in for the goal. Frank Lopez coming on and earning RGV a huge advantage in the 72nd minute. Lopez from Longview, Texas. And the man who replaced Jonas Feldberg on the field for only minutes gives RGV a huge 1-0 advantage.
Yeah, and that is, that's kind of a clinical dropped ball right near the penalty spot, and then he just knocks it simply into the back of the net. I mean, I've told you before, Duke, I like attack the end line and drop it back. It's incredibly hard to defend, and if that that shot was well done by RGV. Locomotive just gets caught on a turnover and just does not sort it out quick enough.
So he's from Longview, Texas. He's actually from Cienfuegos, Cuba. Acquired on loan from USL Championship side OKC Energy 2021. Has certainly helped Wilmer Cabrera. The time he's been on, certainly here tonight. Over the top, Matty Boehner. Can he get the touch before Derek? No. Good thought though by Yuma. Matt Boehner.
Yeah, sneaking up the wing.
Goes out.
Yeah, I'm not. He got forward, and there was no offsides called, but
okay.
Just have to look for.
We may have to look at a replay. Here is Borelli to Maris. Lays it off. Lucho, first time over the bar. Too much to contend with, and RGV has done well to get back in position all evening long. Lucho trying to find that touch.
And the Locomotive just, when they get the balls to each other, to ourselves in the box in a dangerous position, they have to find a way to get that shot off. Get your body in a position to play quicker.
Yuma, the hard charging Frank Lopez fouls Yuma.
There was contact, and we know Yuma's going to find a way to
make the most of
draw
that.
it into
Sure.
a foul.
Trying to switch. Here's Borelli. Rose. Borelli. And that is from Rose right into the teeth of RGV. Is this what you want to see from Locomotive FC at this point of the match?
Oof. Locomotive has got to really worry about getting that ball in the attack. I mean, everyone has to attack and everyone has to defend, and there is no way around it.
Brought down by O'Connor Ward. Locomotive with a throw. Certainly possession still favoring Locomotive. 61% of the ball to 39. But here's RGV on the attack race. Well sorted out by Fox, and he keeps it in play to Borelli. Borelli, Locomotive, evenly matched in terms of numbers. Borelli to Maris. Advantage played here. Ander, Zacarias. Zacarias will have a go, and he doesn't miss by a whole lot. Looked like he may have been trying to pick out Garcia out of that left wing. Ricardo Zacarias in there. You know, at this point of the match, the guy you love to see in these situations is Aaron Gomez, El Paso's all-time leading goal scorer, out with yellow card accumulation tonight. But Heidi, he's been an important part and maybe missed here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Gomez is one of those, like we like to call him, he's a box-to-box forward. I mean,
yes.
He's always pressuring the defense, but he'll get to every single ball. And he's a goal scorer. I mean, he's a natural goal scorer. He's definitely, I think, missed tonight.
See what transpires here. Rachel Phillips can provide some insight on what John Hutchinson might be looking for with these last few minutes. Over the top, that's sorted out. Back to RGV and played into space. Pinson won't get there. Let's head down to Rachel Phillips for more. What is Locomotive looking for in these last few minutes, Rachel?
Well, Duke, you talk about needing to see urgency from this Locomotive team as the minutes start to wind down on this clock. For mine, one place they really have to go to is Lucho Solomyak. He is the team's leading goal scorer with 13 goals on the season. And in his last 4 games, he has scored 3 braces. He is the guy the Locomotive need to get the ball to right now if there are any hope of coming back in this game.
Look forward. Well done by Rose. Borelli. Sliding down is Derek. Zacarias getting tangled there with Eric Pimentel. Well, certainly easier said than done, and I would imagine RGV knows who Locomotive would love to have the ball up top.
Oh, yeah, and not only just getting Lucho the ball, but getting Lucho in a place that he can be dangerous with it.
Dylan Maris has run into a double team. There's another one RGV has done a pretty solid job at defending tonight.
I feel like Locomotives sometimes when they kind of feel under pressure that they want to get forward, they go very direct, very centrally, rather than something that I think I'd like to see them add to their bag of tricks is play the target player. Have them hold the ball and then knock it back and then get numbers to join. We haven't done that much this entire year, and I feel like it's worked against us, you know, and it's not something that we kind of look, oh, over my shoulder, out to the flank. And that would be a good way to bring the ball up centrally, and then you still can kick it out wide and then circle it around and be playing the ball back away from the keeper, from the flank, away from the end line, instead of just towards the goalkeeper all the time.
Locomotive thought there was a whistle. There is not. Well done by Chris Garcia to sort that out with the already dangerous feet of Frank Lopez closing in. Halfway. Garcia again. Nicely done by the native of El Paso.
Yeah, the pace that he is pushing the ball, that is what we want to see by all of them on the turnovers. That is exactly a good demonstration of what I mean by get that pace forward. 2 touches of the ball on both the edges of the 18. That was not where it needed to go for Locomotive FC. And here's the outlet. On the run is Pinson. Pinson
Nice move. Pinzon off the bar and in. 2-0 RGV. 80th minute. Sneaks one off the post. And Pinzon has taken the air out of this crowd and Locomotive FC in the 80th minute.
Yeah, RGV just kind of living and dying by the 1v1, but they were, you know, getting in the back of the net twice now.
Celebrations for Wilmer Cabrera as Locomotive will bring on Artem Kolod. He'll come in for Dylan Maris. Does Locomotive have an answer with roughly 10 minutes left to go? We'll strike that. It's Edison Ascona in for Dylan Maris. And Edison Ascona back on the pitch after a bit of an absence. The young player on loan from the Miami FC. And let's go down to Rachel Phillips for more on him. Rachel.
Yeah, Duke, you talk about the Locomotive needing to find an answer. Well, that answer could be Edison Ascona. He's on loan from Inter Miami, but more than that, he knows how to score in pressure situations. At CONCACAF Under-20, he scored the game winner over El Salvador in the round of 16, then scored the equalizer in their 2-2 draw against Guatemala in the semis, and also converted in the spot kick in the penalty shootout for the Dominican Republic. So he is a player that knows how to score, and that is exactly what the Locomotive need right now.
So Ascona on to see if he can provide some fireworks in the closing 9+ minutes here. Said the Miami FC, obviously it is Inter Miami of Major League Soccer. But the Dominican Republic not necessarily known for its soccer prowess in CONCACAF climes. There's a young man who's provided some of that success for his national team.
Exactly. Experience international, I mean, it is just something that can't be replicated in your day-to-day league. You got all the travel, the different environment, different styles of play. I mean, just lots of variables, so it kind of toughens you up a little bit.
Lots of variables, and playing with guys that you're not going to play with again. After you're done with your national team.
Yep, you get a short training. Hey, figure out how to play together. This is what I want you to do, and then you got to figure it out.
Rose. Ascona's first touches. Backheel by Boehner. Nicely done. Lucho. Knocked over. Garcia Boehner back to nobody. Oh, dear.
I want to see Lucho shoot that.
Right. Right?
That's what we've been saying. Get it to our goal scorer.
Lucho trying to provide help for his teammates to get something working here, but
I feel like Garcia has been a little bit of a
spark plug.
Spark plug, yeah. He's got that pace going when the ball is he's been a part of the plays. He's made it a little bit unpredictable for the opponent and push the pace.
That's a takedown. Locomotive will continue with possession. Rose, Ander, and Andrew Fox.
Yeah, Garcia's like, why didn't you get me the ball?
Way out on the wing.
Yes.
Here's Ascona on the left. Dribbles straight out the defense and picks up a foul. Well, that's one way to do it. Wondering what just hit me. Jonathan Ricketts saying this little dude went right at me. Picks up the foul as well. Ascona and Liam Rose. It'll be Rose on the restart. Rose in swinger. On there. Does well to get ahead to it. Fox to keep it in play. Nice knockback over his head. Boehner brought down in the box is on there. Just couldn't get that under control, and that's a foul called on Locomotive. The fans howling as an RGV player is on the turf. Let's take a look at our physical play of the match tonight, and that is going to be Matt Boehner. He's had some solid efforts tonight. Maybe none more so than that effort defensively. To keep the ball away from Pinzon. Unfortunately for Locomotive, Pinzon does have his goal.
Good challenge on that air ball.
Lucho, quick restart, but it's right to Akwe, and Locomotive's going to get a reprieve here. It didn't. Free kick didn't come. Oh, delay of game. That's on Juan Pablo Torres. So the caution to Juan Pablo Torres in the 86th minute as we just crossed into the 87th. Minutes remain for Locomotive to try and make something happen here. Yuma. Pinzon does well to close off the angles. Escona now trying to find Garcia. They'll have it on the wing. Garcia tried to get one over, but it's well sorted out by Pimentel for a Locomotive throw. Garcia wanted to put some altitude on that ball. Didn't go anywhere but right at him.
He's not going away on that, on those flank service.
88th minute. Time disappearing for the home team. Trying to serve it up to Garcia. Again, sorted out by RGV. O'Connor Ward. Long ball out of the back. Mercy, mercy. Here comes Lopez. Evan Newton is there, as is Yuma. There to the right wing. Garcia does well to keep that in play. Garcia leads one. A little too far ahead for Lucho's. A little disappointed with where that ended up. Well, Locomotive can put the ball in the back of the net quickly. Rachel Phillips has more on that. We've seen it before. Locomotive fans certainly hope to see it again.
Yeah, Duke, that's exactly right. Locomotive needing to score here, and time is winding down, but they've done it before. My mind immediately goes back to the Colorado Springs game where they scored 4 goals in a half to tie that one up. I'm thinking of 2 particular goals in that game, though. They were scored within 2 minutes, and I look at the clock right now, 2 minutes plus stoppage time still remaining. So it's not impossible. It will be tough, but it's not impossible, especially with this Locomotive team.
RGV handling its business quite nicely. Pimentel. Ward is there, but good work by Pinzon. Certainly RGV the luxury to go backward if they want to now. The Locomotive has not been able to, that one bouncing around, it will eventually be a Locomotive throw. And a substitution for RGV.
Yeah, RGV, has been pressing Locomotive this match, and Locomotive handled it fairly well, breaking it in the back line. But then once it hit that midfield and attacking third, Locomotive just kind of not pushing the pace to get forward on the attack, not kind of finding a quick solution to get into that dangerous attacking areas. And RGV kind of opposite, just saying, heck, we're just going to put you in as many 1v1 situations as possibly can.
90th minute. Yuma. Boehner, who's been active and earns a corner here. We're hearing it's going to be 4 minutes of stoppage time, which is certainly what John Hutchinson wanted to hear.
Yeah. I mean, as Rachel said, we've seen Locomotive score in bunches and score. It's like sometimes you just need one and the floodgates open. And because it's just an emotional, you know, run.
Ascona. Skimming ball headed out easily. Yuma still going forward. Nice knock to the far post, but too far and over the head of Matt Boehner. So 4 minutes of stoppage time is the call officially. Isidro Martinez coming on for RGV, replacing Torres. That was that last sub for Wilmer Cabrera. RGV and Locomotive 3-3-2, right down the middle, and it seems like the visitors a little closer to getting a first ever win in El Paso. Locomotive 3-0-1. Here's Yuma. On that, Boehner. Locomotive continuing to move the ball. Lucho skying for that one. Zacarias trying to turn, trying to get it back to Lucho, and again, through the teeth of the defense, it's just not going where they want it to.
Right.
Yuma, great challenge. Out for an RGV throw. And you can see it. You talked about it earlier, the last touches that need to be a little more direct. The hopping and skipping and jumping. And
those finishes that we saw by Locomotive in the last few games, I mean, they were confident and they were quick.
Well, a big 3 points for RGV, which isn't technically eliminated, but second from the bottom of the Western Conference. It's a thought, Evan Newton sorting out that shot. Lopez out on that wing. Here's Fox. Trying to find Lucho. Again, Borelli. Rose. Ascona. Trying to earn the throw, but it goes the Toro's way. So RGV winless in El Paso in their prior 4 tries, but on the verge of doing something they have not done and taking an advantage in this short series between the two teams, of course, in the 4 years Locomotive has existed. Frank Lopez will take a breather after some contact. And Ed Borelli is going to receive a caution for leaning in a little too far. Moving into the next match for the Brian Birds home selling team. We'll take a look. Lopez gets some water. That'll be September the 18th. Locomotive on the road. And that is the final whistle. A 2-0 win and a devastating loss for Locomotive as John Hutchinson shaking hands with Gerson Echeverri. What are your thoughts, Heidi?
Well, so you're mentioning that the next match is at LA Galaxy 2, so it's good to have rest for El Paso, and this is a team that definitely needs it. El Paso got a big 4-0 win at home versus Galaxy 2 in what was one of the most complete performances we saw from the Locos this season. LA is coming off a 3-1 loss at home a few days ago, and we'll have a match versus Orange County on September 10th. El Paso needs to pick up as many points as possible, so you know they'll be ready for that upcoming match.
It's a big one versus Galaxy 2, which was right below them in the standings and remains so after tonight. But Locomotive can't put any distance between themselves and the team 2 below them in the Western Conference. 2-0 RGV winners in El Paso. We'll be back with a post-game show when we return right after this.
Get ready, El Paso! El Paso Locomotive FC returns home on Wednesday, October 5th as we celebrate GECU's 90th birthday at Southwest University Park. Come cheer on the team as they take on Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. The first 1,000 fans through the gates will receive a limited edition game day poster. And enjoy $2 margaritas, Estrella Jalisco's hot dogs, small popcorn, and 24-ounce sodas until the 30th minute of the match. Gates open at 6 p.m. Find your tickets at eplocomotivefc.com. Vamos Locos! Get ready, El Paso! El Paso Locomotive FC returns home on Wednesday, October 5th as we celebrate GECU's 90th birthday at Southwest University Park. Come cheer on the team as they take on Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. The first 1,000 fans through the gates will receive a limited edition game day poster. And enjoy $2 margaritas, Estrella Jalisco's hot dogs, small popcorn, and 24-ounce sodas until the 30th minute of the match. Gates open at 6 p.m. Find your tickets at eplocomotivefc.com. Vamos Locos!
Welcome back. That is the West Star Tower at Hunt Plaza here in El Paso, Texas. 2-0 RGV Valley FC. The Toros over Locomotive FC by that score, and a big 3-point jump for RGV in the standings as we take a look at our full-time stats, full match stats brought to you by GECU. Shot accuracy, 33% for RGV, but that didn't matter. They got the 2 goals with 12 total shots, 4 of them on target. Most of that in the second half, ID.
Yeah. I mean, Locomotive here, again, having possession, but when it comes down to it, like you said, 2 goals is the difference. I mean, Locomotive has got to figure out a way not to be hot and cold on the finishing. They have got to have folks step up and take the responsibility of scoring goals, or these matches are just not going to end in a win.
Thanks to everybody for watching tonight. Your final score from Southwest University Park. RGV Toros coming away with a big 2-0 victory. For all of the folks who helped us out, our director Cesar Ruiz, our producer Juan Gutierrez, for Heidi Mocha, for Rachel Phillips. I am Duke Keith. The final score again tonight from El Paso. RGV walks away with all 3 points. A big 2-0 win for them. Until next time, until October. So long, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
Fans, it's a rare occurrence for a player to make 100 appearances in a